From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
He says he's being set up, but police say an 18-year-old Crestwood area student was behind two separate threats at the school. The alleged student threat maker, our top story on News 13 for this Wednesday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Twice in the past month, actually 3 times, police were called, students dismissed, parents were frantic when bomb and other threats were discovered in the Crestwood area school district. But investigators say they didn't have to go far to find who was responsible. Christina Papa is here with a background on today's arrest. Christina?
Kathy, 18-year-old Richard Sywell was arrested, then released on bail for felony charges the high school senior says he's not guilty of. 18-year-old Richard Sywell says the charges against him are bogus. He faces a list of them, including making terroristic threats after he allegedly wrote bomb and ricin threats in boys' restrooms at the Crestwood High School. Police say it started on April 18th when students told school officials about a threat written in the boys' bathroom, which said bomb in the school. Administrators took no chances evacuating that building and calling police, who scoured the building with bomb-sniffing dogs. Almost a month later, another threat, this time in the middle school boys' bathroom. Again, schools were evacuated, but no bombs were found. The next day, another written threat in the boys' bathroom. This one said ricin is in the school. Ricin is a deadly chemical, and the FBI hazmat team out of Philadelphia was put on notice, and police brought in another search dog after the building was cleaned. That's when Sergeant Rositsky says he received an anonymous tip from a student who eventually told them Sywell admitted writing it.
Most recent threat we've gotten some information regarding who had written that threat. We gotten to the point where we were able to make an arrest on that issue.
Eventually, police interviewed Sywell, who at first shrugged off questions but later became aggressive, even verbally threatening. Sywell made his $25,000 bail today, but a magistrate warned him not to go back to school or have any direct phone or school media contact with any faculty or students at Crestwood. Now, Wright Township Police are also investigating the selling of various prescription drugs at Crestwood High School. They tell News 13 there are a few students involved, but police say they will be able to make arrests sooner on that case. Kathy?
An incredibly busy day in the Crestwood Area School District and for Wright Township Police. Thank you, Christina. Well, the former head football coach at Holy Redeemer High School was sentenced this morning to 25 years in federal prison for tricking young men into performing sexually explicit acts over the internet. 29-year-old Joseph Ostrovsky was sentenced in federal court as the result of a plea agreement. Federal prosecutors say he hacked into Facebook accounts, then posed as those people and convinced young men from across the country to perform sexual acts on themselves that he viewed over Skype. He also convinced the men to send him nude photos of themselves, then threatened to send them to others. Ostrovsky also faces separate charges in Luzerne County Court for allegedly molesting a 13-year-old boy in the high school locker room. Well, the cause of the Mother's Day fire in Pottsville that killed 4 children, a husband and sister of Kelly Brown, is still under investigation, but fire marshals say lives could have been saved if the house had smoke detectors. Pottsville officials say they told the Public Safety Department last December that the house lacked the smoke alarms. Code enforcement followed up by calling the Brown family, but the number didn't work. Pottsville code enforcement mandates that all apartment buildings have smoke detectors on every floor, but the city doesn't have the manpower to make sure all private homes have detectors. And while residents can pick up free smoke alarms at area fire departments, they have to make sure the smoke alarms properly work.
Installing them and making sure they're working, it's an obstacle in itself. You know, you have to make sure that the resident understands how to operate them, how to install them, where they need to go, but then they have to take it upon themselves to make sure that it's working.
Now, police first realized the home didn't have any smoke alarms last year after visiting there. They had charged Eric Brown, the late father of the 4 dead children, with 3 counts of endangering the welfare of children. He was expected to plead guilty next week and be jailed for 3 to 12 months. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending that states pass laws to lower the blood alcohol level that constitutes drunk driving. But as Matthew Petrillo reports, while law officers don't want anybody driving drunk, they say the reduction could make their jobs even more difficult.
You might want to put that drink down if you're planning on getting in a car's driver's seat. The National Transportation Safety Board is urging states to set a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. That's lower than the current legal level of 0.08%, which is the same in every state. And if you're caught drunk driving, the consequences are steep.
So you're going to lose your license, you're going to have a criminal record. If your blood alcohol rate is high enough, you might even find yourself facing some jail time. With repeated offenders, you will face some jail time.
Pottsville Police Chief Steve Durkin stopped his fair share of drunk drivers, but he says lowering the legal blood alcohol level will present police with some challenges.
Our problems are going to be simply practical ones. How do you identify the person who's between 0.05 and 0.08 with certainty?
30 years ago, more than 20,000 people would die in alcohol-related traffic. That number has since been cut in half, but drunk driving remains a consistent threat to public safety. 30% of all driving fatalities are linked to drunk driving. But some say that because enforcing drunk driving is a consequence only after people are behind the wheel, the new proposal wouldn't do much to save lives.
I just think it's terrible. I just think it's a money-making thing for the government.
Joseph Yaskovich has owned Jonathan's Nest for 25 years. He was also issued a DUI himself and says the DUI system criminalizes social behavior.
Because you go to Harrisburg, you go to Washington, and where do all the lawmakers go for lunch? These high restaurants, and they have their martinis and Manhattans for a lunch, but yet the hard-working person that comes out to relax from work just leaves some steam off from having a hard day at work. They want to crucify you.
He hasn't had a drink for a year, but Chief Durkin says he has his own practical rule of thumb.
Impairment begins with the first drink. If you're planning on driving, don't drink. If you're planning on drinking, don't drive.
Most countries in the industrialized world have set levels at 0.05. But if that were to happen in America, it could take decades to implement. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
And still ahead on News 13, just a little rainy weather, and then we're walking on some sunshine again. We'll tell you when that happens in News 13 weather. But first, a touching tribute, which is a very long time in coming for a local police officer struck down in the line of duty. We'll take you there when News 13 continues. May 15th is a day to remember law enforcers who have given their lives while on duty. But there was a very special service in Hazleton today. Christina Papa explains how police paid homage to a fallen officer who gave his life 75 years ago.
He gave his life to protect the Hazleton area. Now, over 50 years later, Ernesto Nesty Valent is being honored and remembered for his bravery.
A wagon pulled out onto the street. The driver of the car slammed on his brakes. The police officer was thrown from the vehicle, striking his head and dying from his injuries. The boy survived.
Nesty Valent died in the line of duty on May 15, 1938, as he helped save the life of an 8-year-old child who was hit by a vehicle on Broad Street in Hazleton. Nesty's remaining family members were honored with this bronze memorial plaque today during the National Police Officer Memorial Day ceremony in front of City Hall. Today, Anthony Valent, the oldest living relative to Nesty, came in his honor to accept the plaque. Anthony's mother, Teresa Valent, remembers when her husband's uncle was killed in 1938.
It's too bad it didn't happen earlier, but I think it's wonderful that they're recognizing him, at this late date. It's wonderful.
Obviously, I never knew, my uncle Nesty. He passed away many years ago, but I think it's wonderful that, they've gotten around to doing this for him.
Community members, government elected officials, and police stood at attention as the 21-gun salute went off to pay tribute to past, present, and future law enforcement who serve and continue to serve. Lieutenant Kenneth Zapovsky was amongst the crowd of law enforcement who gathered from around the area to pay homage to those who have served and fallen before them.
It's an honor to be involved with this. I mean, nobody ever looks forward to memorializing someone who dies in the line of duty, but it's to pay them the honor and the respect. I mean, they signed up and they gave their lives.
And Hazleton police plan to remember Ernesto Nesty Valent every year on this date. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
An incredible story there. Well, time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar, there you have it. Showers, maybe even some thunderstorms moving through the region, and we're going to stay in that pattern into the overnight. Our creative condition is perfect for once we're out of the weather pattern. It's by Brett Antolic, a student at Valley Elementary, and he and his friend are out tossing a football under sunny skies with big old puffy clouds. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. A chance of showers and thunderstorms right through the evening, then it gets cloudy with a low around 50 degrees. For Thursday, sunny though, a high near 72 and an overnight low just down to 48. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, showers and thunderstorms right into the overnight with a low of 52. Then Thursday, mostly sunny, should be nice with a high near 74 degrees. It'll be partly cloudy at night with a low around 48. Well, if you're hunting for bargains and want to have some fun and some delicious food along the way, head to Cunningham this Saturday. Parish members from St. John Bosco were hard at work yesterday getting things ready for the church's annual spring fling. It's going to be all day Saturday and will feature literally hundreds of new and used household items for sale, along with dozens of tricky trays and a raffle for cash prizes. As you can see, there will be something for everybody.
We have a very large array of flea market items, some beautiful lamps, kitchen items, luggage, tools, games, Christmas, you name it, we've got it. Items, jewelry, beautiful jewelry that has been brought in.
But wait, there's more. You'll also be able to have a scrumptious breakfast, and later on they'll be serving meals to eat in or take out, including their famous Spätzle Halushki. Enjoy it all at St. John Bosco Spring Fling at the Parish Center in Cunningham from 7 until 3 this Saturday. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The Daily, 843. The Big 4, 0141. Quinto, 40858. And the Treasure Hunt, 1, 6, 23, 27, 29. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Lehigh Gorge State Park will be holding a program Saturday, May 25th called Discover Lehigh Gorge Walk at 11 a.m. This easy one-hour walk will search for spring wildflowers and remnants of our area's rich history. For more information, please call 570-403-2006. And finally, Power Hazleton will be holding their second annual downtown cleanup Saturday, May 18th. Participants can meet at the chamber offices located at 20 West Broad Street at 9 a.m. Supplies including garbage bags, safety vests, and gloves will be provided. For more info, please call 570-455-1509. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Charles Edward Gallo III, formerly of Hazleton. Memorial will be held Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Christ Lutheran Church. Friends may call prior to the service. And Julia E. Roberts of Hazel Village. Funeral is Thursday at 11 a.m. from the Welsh Congregational Church. Friends may call Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home is assisting the family. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Going into Strand Memorial Stadium in the District Track and Field Championships, the Lady Cougars were the defending champs, but they knew they lost a lot of the people that got them there last year. And they also knew that Abington Heights is always very, very tough. When all the dust had settled, the Lady Cougars had themselves quite an afternoon. They're sending a lot of people to states. They have district champions. They just fell short trying to catch Abington Heights. On the boys' side, there was high hopes and anticipation. They had a lot of #1 seeds, and though it didn't pan out exactly the way they had wanted it to, they did salvage 2 guys, state qualifying times going on to states. So all in all, a good day for a lot of the Cougars. Our Mike Madry was at Strand Memorial Stadium yesterday, and he fills us in on all the excitement that took place.
13 teams, including the Hazleton Cougars, participated in the district finals. For many athletes, their hard work got them here. And the story is no different for Crestwood senior Dom Mack.
As much as people say it's different, it's a lot of unity, and the team really helps you carry through. But aside from that, You just have to train hard, eat healthy, and make sure you're doing the best that you can at all times.
There were 13 teams competing, but for Dan Ritz, a Crestwood sophomore, he sees track more as an individual effort than a team sport.
Well, it's more, I mean, it's a team sport altogether, but it's also an individual sport, which I like about it, because you could be as good as you want to be in this sport. And it does take a lot of dedication and hard work, but if you put it in, you'll see results.
And then there's the local side of things. And for Emily Malone and the Hazelton Cougars, well, they fared pretty well.
I think when I found out I jumped higher than the fence, I was so excited. My mom went crazy. It was an awesome feeling.
In today's race, which featured 13 teams, 5 runners from Hazelton will be making their way to Shippensburg with the names of Juron Barlow, Nicole Burrell, Selena Gazzaro, Alyssa Stitch, and Emily Malone.
I knew I qualified for states and everything, but that was just the icing on the cake.
If I had to take second, I'm happy that I got into states at least.
When there was 5 people left, I started to get really nervous and everything, but I told myself that I can definitely do it, and I did it, so I'm really proud of myself.
It feels awesome just to be able to be here for another whole week, and it's going to be a crazy race on states.
For the 5 Cougars, their next stop will be at Shippensburg. Mike Madry, News 13 Sports, Hazelton.
And if you take a look, there are the team standings. There are the girls' standings. As we said, Hazelton gave Abington Heights a run right to the very last event, but just couldn't get any closer than that. And it's Abington Heights. Seems to be the Lady Cougars or Abington Heights the last couple of years. Meanwhile, on the boys' side, you can see the Cougars with a respectable showing, but they finished a distant 5th place, and it's Tunkhannock who comes away with the district championship for 2013. Well, today we've got more track. You can see right there, the District 11 Track and Field Championships. That's going to take place at Blue Mountain High School down in Orwicksburg. That's always an exciting day, a lot of competition to see what happens there. We also can tell you that today we've got baseball, Schuylkill League Championship, Tamaqua North Schuylkill. They're going to try to get that in. The weather forecast is very iffy, as we know, so we'll see what happens there. Speaking of Schuylkill League, Pine Grove, 12-0 destruction of Mono area in softball yesterday. The Pine Grove girls, really an impressive team. News 13 Sports is sponsored by Sand Springs, featuring a world-class golf course as well as celebrations, the area's most luxurious banquet and wedding facility.
Welcome to this week's District Newsmaker. Today we're at the Hazelton Career Center in the Electrical Technology classroom. Mr. Sanduch, can you explain what is this big, massive machinery thing behind us?
Well, in today's world, especially for industry, there is a new technology called megatronics, where it's a combination of programmable logic controllers, some electronics, and some pneumatics and cylinders. And what the students learn is really how to put this all together so they're really ready to go out and be prepared to get a job in industry.
And if you really take a look at it, it's pretty big and it looks like really complicated. How long did it take the students to put this together?
Well, none of this is a bought package, so we've been piecemealing it together just for about all year now. Some of it's been donated from local industry, and we just kind of put it all together and engineered it and made it work.
Okay, so Cole, you helped put this together, correct? You're a senior here. Can you explain what does it do?
Well, when we pieced it together, we didn't really have a goal with it right away. Then we found out about it for Skills USA. So we decided to put air into it, and that came with the pneumatics part, making it into mechatronics instead of just programmable logic controllers. Mm-hmm. So as we pieced it together, got the pneumatics, this is the simple setup we did by pressing a start button over there, activating the cylinder, putting it out, activating the proximity switches, and putting those lights on through the PLC.
Okay, so as a senior, you might use this kind of equipment maybe in some type of future career. Where would this be used?
It could be used anything, such as on an assembly line. It could push a bad product off or detect a bad product or anything along the lines of that.
Okay, and so can you explain, for your students, is this a good thing to teach them that will help them in their careers?
Absolutely. There are many, many industries right now looking for good maintenance people who know megatronics, PLCs, motor controls, and that's what my students are learning here and get prepared.
Very cool. Well, so the kids here at Hazleton Career Center know their stuff. That's this week's District Newsmaker. We'll see you next week.
And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. The latest on the student at a local high school charged today with making threats that led to 3 evacuations. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.